Hello and welcome back to the Taylor Seminars, where we talk about how Taylor Swift turns life into poetry. My name is Hannah, and I'm here with my incredible co-host and friend, Exquisite. Hello.
Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm good. We had a bit of a break, but we are back to talk about, I think, one of the greatest songs in Taylor Swift's discography, maybe?
Maybe.
I feel like we've been saying that a lot about songs on this album, but this one has clearly struck a nerve with many people because of not just the subject matter, but how it's sung, how it's written, how it's been performed in front of hundreds of thousands of people at this point. Million people? How many people went to the Eras Tour?
Oh,
I don't even know. But
it was
yeah,
millions of
yeah, maybe,
people.
yeah, and including online through live streams. We are here to talk about Marjorie from Taylor Swift's ninth studio album, Evermore. Um, Do you remember when the track list dropped for Evermore and you saw this song title?
Yeah, and I knew who Marjorie was, right? Um, because um, because in Taylor's music video for Wildest Dreams on the seat, she named her character in Wildest Dreams Marjorie. And so way back then I was like, who's Marjorie? And I was like, oh, her grandmother. So I figured we'd be doing something like that, especially because we knew that Epiphany was partially inspired by her grandfather, but I didn't know what like direction she was taking it in.
Right, right. So when we saw that Marjorie was is it the 13th track on this album?
Yes, I think so.
So yeah, so we were like, oh, that's a very important number to Taylor. And in folklore, she had written Epiphany about her grandfather. And so we were like, oh, she's also doing a song about her grandmother now on this album as the 13th track. And that was really cool. And yes, so her grandmother, Marjorie, was a singer, including opera singer. And she did like little tours. Like she sang in Cuba and she sang in other places, and we've seen videos of Taylor playing the piano with her grandmother, obviously, like I said, was a performer, so Taylor gets her musical giftings from her. And
Hmm.
so we were expecting some kind of a tribute.
Yes.
And then we got this wow, a wow song.
Yeah, yeah. During the Eras Tour documentary, we got to see those videos of Andrea being young and traveling with her mom for performing, and Andrea saying like growing up that way with her mother prepared her to be a parent for Taylor. And I think that is so beautiful. And I think also like on this song, we also get to hear Marjorie sing. And so Marjorie got to live that those big stadium dreams on the Eras tour too. And it just makes me actually didn't I'm gonna stop talking actually
Yeah,
before I get sad.
yeah, it's a beautiful tribute. So let's jump into it, and we will talk about a lot of what makes this song wonderful as we go through. So, yes, track 13, Marjorie. Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind. And if I didn't know better, I think you were talking to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. I'm going to keep going. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive.
I think one of the things about the song is you don't immediately realize what is happening. And then, like, by that pre chorus, I think you were talking now, you realize, oh, it's advice she was given
Right.
by her grandmother. So a lot of that is don't forget to be clever, but also don't get too clever. You forget to be kind. And you can kind of tell just from I mean, if you're listening to this, you have an understanding of Taylor and her career that it is like one of her main things is to be kind and to be a person people see as kind, but also as clever, like sharp tongue,
Yeah, sharp
but
tongue
not so
and sharp brain,
serious.
right? She's a smart
Yeah,
businesswoman. At the same time, she wants to be seen as someone who's giving back, who's good to her employees and to her team, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a term, like a English term for where you kind of switch these words around? Never be so kind, you forget to be clever.
Oh,
Never be so
there
clever, you forget to
there
be
is.
kind.
There is. Um, it is a literary device um, that you asking me this is it's like
Well, oh, is it
messed me up.
is it an now I'm just
Um,
googling.
it's not an Afra, or maybe it's not. It's not. I just made that up. Um, oh, it's like it is called animita an- anti-metabole, and I have never been able to say this, or like um, that is what it's called. I'll spell it so other people can.
Antimetabole.
Yeah, Antimetabole. Um,
And this is
so.
something that she's used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She loves to switch words around and yet repeat them. But anyway, yeah, it's like and it's impactful because it's repetitive and it makes sense both ways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we get the quote from Marjorie, and then now we have Taylor speaking. And if I didn't know better, I think like you're talking to me, like you're dead, but I hear your voice. Whether it's literal, I
Mm-hmm.
am audibly hearing your voice, or I hear your voice because it's so clear that this advice is so lived out in my life. Like you're such a part of my life.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's so vivid, right? Marjorie is so
Yeah.
vivid, and
And
then
it's like, and I think we're still around, right?
yeah,
So it's like you're still here, even though you're not here.
yeah,
And then the chorus goes on to prove what she means by that of, you know, but I didn't stay dead. Like you're alive and you're here and I can feel you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's in fact so vivid that I sometimes forget you're dead, right? You're around. Like I could call you
Mm-hmm.
up. I can go to your house, right? So we have a lot of repetition in this chorus, and we've talked about this before, where repetition in songwriting, poetry, literature is kind of like bold, you know, bold, highlight, exclamation point, and
Mm-hmm.
she's I think emphasizing this idea that like she's alive, like she's a part of me. And I think in the prologue she even talks about how like one is starring my grandmother Marjorie, who still visits me sometimes, if only in my dreams.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Taylor.
Yeah, yeah. And I
My
think
Taylor.
that is such a big part of grief, right? Is yes, you're not here, but it feels like you are. And part of how I have to learn to live with the grief is remembering you and thinking about you, but then that also hurts, and it's just like this cycle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then it continues on. I'm having a hard time with this.
Do you want me
It
to read it? I
always
can read
says,
it. I can read it.
yeah,
I can read it.
okay. Yeah,
Never
you
be
can
so
read it.
polite you forget your power. Never wield such power you forget to be polite. And if I didn't know better, I'd think you were listening to me now. If I didn't know better, I'd think you are still around. And then the repetition of the chorus. So similarly here, we have a Marjorie quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where, don't just get walked all over because you're polite, right? Like, no, like you
Mm-hmm.
need to stand up for yourself. And I wonder if those were the words Taylor had in her head when it came to things like fighting for a record deal, right? Fighting to release Reputation, even though it wasn't, it was so different, or I guess 1989,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um,
Yeah.
and then, and at the same time, never wield such power, you forget to be polite. Like, even though, you know, I'm at the summit, make sure I'm still kind to everyone I'm
Yeah.
around me.
I still know the name of everybody in the room.
Exactly.
And I still get excited about bonus days. Like
Hmm.
these should still be
And
things that
handwriting the cards to every single truck
mm-hmm.
driver, like that's crazy. That's a lot of truck drivers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And in this one, we heard in this pre-chorus, now Marjorie is in fact listening to Taylor. Like she's still, like it's like Taylor talks to her grandmother as if she's around. Like
Mm-hmm.
she'll talk to the air, and I'm like, I think she hears me, right? Like we have, there's a connection between us.
Yeah. And even like, I think you're listening to me now while I'm in this booth recording this song, or while I am on this stage
Yeah.
singing the song with the audience.
Yeah. Oh wow. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And then I think let's see. Yeah, it's like You're Alive, So Alive that happens. And then we get to this really beautiful like bridge where Taylor, this is where it like locks in that she's talking about like a grandmother, and it is like all of these little memories that Taylor just runs through. The autumn chill that wakes me up, you loved the amber skies so much, long limbs in frozen swims, you'd always go past where our feet could touch, and I complained the whole way there, the card ride back and up the stairs. I should have asked you questions, I should have asked you how to be, asked you to write it down for me, should have kept every grocery store receipt because every scrap of you would be taken from me. Watched as you signed your name, Marjorie, all your closets of backlog dreams, and how you left them all to me. That bridge, oh my God.
I am very proud of you for getting through that in one piece.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So we have the autumn chill that wakes me up. So this is Evermore, our fall winter album. It's like I feel like it's stick season, right? Like
Yeah.
um, all the leaves have fallen, and now you suddenly get that sudden cold feeling, and she suddenly wakes up and everything's kind of dead, the trees, etc. And she has this sudden kind of Proustian, I want to say, flashback. So if you know, Proust wrote this book In Search of Lost Time or something, where like he eats a madeleine and he goes through this whole stream of consciousness about his life and his mother and like all this stuff. And I feel like that's what happened. Like she gets this chill and she has this flashback and she has this incredible stream of consciousness where she just now is like, oh my gosh, autumn chill, autumn skies, right? Long limbs,
Mm,
like swimming pool, and like go in your house. Like she has this montage, a supercut, you might say.
hmm
And then she feels this immense guilt
There's
slash
guilt.
grief.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
right.
guilty. I complained the whole way there to like going like her grandmother wake her up in the morning and like we're going swimming and it's like it's October and it's cold and I don't want to go and I don't want to go over and over again of this like complaining and then also complaining on the way back like now I'm cold
Oh,
and
I saw this as a little bit more zoomed out. Like I'm complaining the whole way to her house. Like, what? Grandma's house is so far. I don't want to go, right? And
she
then
complained while with Kurt.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
just in this moment that right where she would have spent time with her grandmother, whether it was at her house, at the pool, wherever. Like I complained on the way there, I complained on the way back, I complained back all the way up to my room, right? Like
hmm
um
Like I was spending all that time complaining instead of talking to you
yeah, I should have asked
and
you questions. I should have asked you how to be.
ask you to write it down.
Yeah.
I think like the should have kept every grocery store receipt because you sign your grocery store receipts, but it's also like these are evidence that you existed, that you would buy this food and this
Exactly.
food, or when I was sick, you would go to the store and get this and you'd sign your own receipt and I could see it. Because one day that's all gonna be gone. Every scrap of you would be taken from
Right.
me.
Yeah, and I love that wordplay because a grocery store receipt is a scrap, right? Like it's something you're just gonna
Hmm
throw away, scrap of paper. But I wish I had kept all of that because each of them told me a story, right? Each of them connected me to you. And yeah, it's so powerful in that she just feels bad, but also like she was a kid, right? Like Taylor was a baby.
hmm
It's you know, I have kids, and yeah, they complain all the time. I still drag them places, and then they have fun. It's you know, it's like Marjorie. I'm sure you know if she could talk to Taylor, she'd be like, I genuinely like do not care. Like it's not a big deal to me. But you know, when you as an adult now be like, oh, but what if there could have been one more thing that could have stuck with me? And if you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, I should have asked you how to be. It kind of is answered in the song, right? Like all these things that Marjorie said, they are influencing how Taylor lives her life and how to be, right? And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
really beautiful. Like, yes, you did lose your grandmother, but there is so much of her still within you. You can talk to her, and she does. The universe does listen. So I do think that
Yeah.
I should have asked you how to be is such a poignant line, and yet there is hope in that line.
Yeah, because all your closets of backlog dreams and how you left them all to me. So there is an awareness that Taylor has that Marjorie, who was the first person to ever see musical potential in Taylor and to say we need to buy her a piano, the first person to ever nurture that because she was also a musician, was like her dreams was to be that big star, and now her granddaughter gets to do it, and Taylor has an awareness of like I get to be my grandmother's wildest dream.
Mm.
Um, and that's also a lot and heavy. And like, imagine getting up on stage and singing that every night. And there are the lights that the crowd does that started in Atlanta, night two.
Were you there, Exquisite?
I was there. The lights started. At first, we did them during Champagne Problems, so I was there when we did it during Champagne Problems. I was outside when they did it for Marjorie, and everyone decided that one felt stuck better.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. The way that she
so
would
it's
actually sign Marjorie in the air during that song,
mhm.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, and again, part of that is like I should have appreciated you. Like, then it's a child guilt. It's a child guilt of like, yes, I complained. I was 12 or I
Yes.
was like 10. I didn't know what I would lose. Like, I don't know if she had like an awareness of what death was until it became something to her. Like as a child, you don't know until you do, and then you're like, okay, so you're never gonna come back. Okay, that's what that means. But then you have the outro that the shift is I think you were singing to me now, and you get Marjorie on the track and
Yeah.
in those stadiums, and it is like one of the most beautiful moments of the night every night.
Yeah. It's definitely a highlight.
Yeah, and I do love this song like switches to I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know better, but you're still around. So it ends with like I don't not I think you were still around. I know you're still around, and your presence is still all around at all times.
Yeah, it like lingers in like and it's still leading me, right? I think right, Folklore and Evermore came out of a time where she wasn't able to tour. She was disconnected from a lot of her fans and this kind of pop star life she had cultivated. And to have a moment where she can breathe and really look back at her grandmother who set her up for this career, I think made it such a powerful tribute. And I think that's really cool.
Yes, I do too. I do too. Especially for those of us who have like very intimate experiences with grief like this of like losing the grandmother, losing the family member,
Hmm.
and you listen to this song and it's like, oh my God, Taylor, why do you say all that?
Yeah.
Um, like very distinctly when my aunt passed, all I would play is that ending because I have a video. My aunt once texted me, the song is like I just called to say I love you. She sent me a video of her singing that to me, and I just play that over and over again, and I'm like, she's still singing to me now. And this song is just so it's just so much
Yeah.
because
Yeah. No, I think yeah, let's talk about that outro. And if I didn't know better, I think you were singing to me now. And she literally has her operatic voice singing to her. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know better, but you're still around, which is so beautiful.
it's so
It's this
beautiful.
idea like if I didn't know better, I think you were still around. Actually, I know better. I know you're not, but you are.
Mhm.
Like,
But
yeah.
you're here.
Yeah, like that, those transitions of the words, right? Is like, I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know better, but you're still around. And she switches, right? You're still around. That is
Hmm.
so powerful and so, it's actually kind of healing, like to be like, hey, like, I think there is something sad to feel like the people you loved are so apart from you that there's some kind of great divide between that can't be
Yes.
crossed. But no, if I truly listen to your words and all the sayings, the proverbs, the aphorisms that you have, and take them to heart, then I can have you with me all around. And actually, Taylor, she talked about this in her Apple Music interview, is that she found the records, right? Quote, one of the things about this song that kind of still rips me apart when I listen to it is that she's singing with me on this song. My mom found a bunch of her old records, a bunch of old vinyls of her singing opera, and Aaron Dessner obviously, added them to the song. It says, quote, if I didn't know better, I'd think you were singing to me now, end quote. And then you hear Marjorie, my grandmother, actually sing. It's moments like this in a record that makes you feel like your whole heart is in this whole thing that you're doing. It's all of you that you put into these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
My shame.
Yeah. So she passed away in 2003. I think Taylor was like 13-ish years old. So this is before Taylor Swift debut, right? This is before her first Grammy. And then let's see. This is a Aaron Dessner produced track. Taylor and Aaron wrote this together, and Justin Vernon, Bon Iver, is singing some background vocals as well. And I think it's very cool that they did this. A couple other things that I found while doing a little bit of research is that you can hear elements of the song Peace in this song. Aaron Dessner told Rolling Stone, this weird drone that you hear on Peace, if you pay attention to the bridge on Marjorie, you'll hear a little bit of that in the distance. So that, I think, is pretty cool. Like, this is one little universe. And then the way he wrote it is very interesting. He used this weird software called the hi-hat generator. I don't know what that means, but quote, that's how I made the backing rhythm of Marjorie. Then I wrote a song to it, and Taylor wrote to that. In a weird way, it's one of the most experimental songs on the album. It doesn't sound that way, but when you pick apart the layers underneath it, it's pretty interesting.
Oh.
So yeah, I do think that's very, very, very cool.
I love this song. I do. But it is one of those songs where I'm like, turn it off.
That's so funny.
Right, I cannot listen to this right now. Turn it off.
Yeah. It is sad, but I think the power of the song is it has layers, right? It does have grief, but it also has such gratefulness in it. It has guilt, but it also has this idea of I can move on because of what you've given me, right? Yeah, all of your closets of backlogged dreams and how you left them all to me. And I don't think they're such, right? There's an element of burden to it, you could say. Like, at the same time, it's you set me on this path. Like, I because of the path you paved, I can move forward. And I think that's a powerful legacy you can leave a grandchild.
Yes.
Yeah. What a song. Any final thoughts before we close this episode? We know it's not super long, but
It's not long, but it is just it's so special. So
yes.
it's so special.
So do you have any thoughts about an emoji for this incredible song?
Do we want to do an angel emoji?
Yeah, sure, yeah. An angel is cute. Love that. And I would like to clarify. I think earlier I said that Epiphany was on Folklore. I don't think I mentioned it's also track 13. So Epiphany and Marjorie, both about grandparents, both track 13s, basically a tribute to the people who helped make her who she is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my Taylor.
I mean, when I first heard her play this on the Eras tour, I was blindsided. Like, what do you mean you're playing Marjorie? Right? Well, Evermore was one of the early sets. I think when it first came out. Was it after Fearless?
I think so.
Yes. And so
We
when
do Lover and then Fearless and
and
then
so when I
Evermore.
saw like the trees coming out of the stage, right, and we were all like, "What's going on?" I thought it was folklore maybe or whatever, and then she started singing "Tis the Damn Season," and I was like, "Whoa, deep cut," right? Like I thought if she did one song from
Hmm.
Evermore, it would be Willow and Champagne Problems because she hinted that she wanted to do Champagne Problems. I thought that was it, but she did. What do you mean she did Marjorie?
I know. She's kind of crazy.
But I think it really is a big part of like who she is as an artist and how she wants to show where she's come from. That's very Taylor,
Hmm.
and so it was
It is.
very very cool that she did. Yeah, for that set she did "Tis the Damn Season," "Willow," Marjorie, which was crazy, then "Champagne Problems," and then ending with "Tolerated." So Evermore era, you will always be famous until you got swallowed up by the folklore set.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
I'm so sorry, Evermore.
I
Don't
know.
worry, don't worry.
Yeah.
We won't treat you like this. I
He-
mean, we kind of did a little bit.
But we love you. You are always so special. And yeah, well, with that, dear listeners, we will leave you. And
Yes.
we will be back next time with, is it Closure?
Oh, I think so.
That'll be a fun episode. We
I
can't
think so
wait.
as well.
We are heading towards the end of this album, which means that folklore will be up next. So we are very excited. We hope you guys tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.